It's been quiet for a while now as regards Hushpuppi. I'm talking about Ramon Abbas. Ever since the arrest of Hushpuppi in the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, in his luxurious rented apartment, Versace apartment, it has been a bit quiet, and people want to know what will become of Hushpuppi. The United States Attorney Office at the Central District of California says that Ramon Abbas, aka Hushpuppi, will be sentenced on February 14, 2022. All of this while he has not gotten his sentence yet. We don't know if there will be any opportunity for parole. We are not sure. But right now, as it stands, he will be getting his sentence on February 14, 2022. And from what we've known for some time now, most of them do get from 25 years to 30. Considering the age of Hushpuppi, Hushpuppi will be coming out as a very, very old man. And if care is not taken, he would have lost touch with technology and many other things happening because he will be cut off from the world. The court's director of media relations, Tom Rozek, said Hushpuppi, Ramon Abbas, has been scheduled for sentencing on Valentine's Day. Rozek was, however, yet to respond to more inquiry as at the time of this report. In a plea agreement document cited by a Nigerian platform, and of course it's out there online, Hushpuppi had pleaded guilty to various offenses bordering on internet scam and money laundering, among others. The document was signed by Hushpuppi, his lawyer, Luis Shapiro, acting United States Attorney Tracy Wilkinson, amongst others. It stated that Hushpuppi risked 20 years imprisonment, a 3-year period of supervised release, a fine of $500,000 or twice the gross gain or gross loss resulting from the offense. So 20 years imprisonment, a 3-year period of supervised release. So he probably might not finish that 20 years. That I want to believe. As it stands, Hushpuppi will have to decide if he will be returning the money that he must have kept. That is, if Hushpuppi kept money somewhere, money to fall back on, if any of these have been kept, if he will. But from all indication and from what I am kind of seeing, I don't think Hushpuppi will want to. I'm not living inside of his mind, but a lot of people have said it would be stupid and foolish of Hushpuppi to return all of this money, because at the end of the day, if he does give all of this money, how is he going to start? I don't think there will be any company anywhere that will employ Hushpuppi. He has been tainted. So there is no company that will employ Hushpuppi. Hushpuppi will have to begin his own business, and to do this, he has to get money. No one will trust Hushpuppi. No one will believe in Hushpuppi, aside certain people that will praise him as one of their lord. Someone that has gone through it and all of that, Hush Baba and all of that. But it will be a very difficult time for him. So he needs money to fall back on. And I think Hushpuppi will want to do all to keep money for himself. That is on one side. It is more or less like a kind of survival instinct. And if Hushpuppi decides to do this, that means there's a possibility of spending 20 years. If he said, no, there is no money, what you took from me is all that is available. Hopefully, if that is not the total, everything that Hushpuppi has. And it's so funny how people feel so comfortable and they are so kind of comfortable in such. He knows what he is doing. Maybe there are some spiritual people telling him, don't worry, nothing will happen to you. So funny. You know what you're doing, and you kept all of what you have acquired in one place, I don't know, unless he has accounts somewhere else, unless he has that. And of course, if they monitored him, his internet traffic and calls, they definitely know where some of his accounts are situated, wherever it is. So if he kept all the money in one place, all of his cars and jewelries and expensive watches, if every of these things have been taken off from him, you know what will become of him? It means that he's going to come back to zero after 20 years. Although, as they say 3-year period of supervised release. So he will be released for a period of 3 years. I don't know if it will be the first 3 years of his after probably spending some couple of years there, probably 6 years or 3 years in prison, then they will allow 3 years supervised release. That is the parole. I don't know if that is what, or he's going to spend 15 years and 3 years parole. But I don't know how they want to go about it. But that supervised release of 3 years, a fine of $500,000 or twice the gross gain or gross loss resulting from the offense. I don't know which of them he will want to. So I want to believe if Hushpuppi made so much money and he has a lot of money kept somewhere that he has not spoken about, and he knows that he will go back to that, maybe Hushpuppi want to go for the 3-year period supervised release and also come up with a 500 million. That's a lot of money. That's $500 million. I don't know. Also, the court had ordered the Federal Bureau of Investigation to arrest the suspended head of the intelligence response team, DCP Abakiari, for his alleged role in a $1 million scam allegedly perpetrated by Hushpuppi and 5 others. So, like I said, if Hushpuppi has money kept somewhere, he might want to fall back on that. And I don't think it will be easy. Although people like Hushpuppi, when they come back, they go back to the same thing. This time around, they feel that they will be smarter, having looked into mistakes that they made. Imagine you stole money, or you are scamming money, or somehow you are able to apply some form of, cunningness. Let's use that. Apply some form of cunningness, and you are able to get money either as a money launderer or whatever it is, because it is not just Hushpuppi. People think Hushpuppi is so smart. No, the thing is that somehow he has done one or two things, but he got good connections. He's not a major. It's just that he's a conduit, one of the conduits. That is what it is. It did not hack. The people that did the hacking, the serious hackers, according to the report, they are the Koreans. The Koreans. They are the ones who did the hacking, and they had to connect with someone in the United States of America, and they needed someone to float that money around, someone to, as a conduit, someone to float the money around, and you know how it is done. So Hushpuppi had that connection, but unfortunately, I cannot imagine this stupidity. I'm not saying we are encouraging this on this platform, but how can you steal money and you bring without any source of income? It's not like you are from probably the grandchild or child of Sultan of Brunei, or you are child of one of the oil Mongol, or you inherited oil field and all of that. No, nothing. You don't have any background that people can point to wealth, and all of a sudden you begin to display humongous wealth on the internet, and you talk too much. I thought money speaks and bullshit works, but Hushpuppi flaunts money and still talks bullshit. He puts all of these things out there to show that money is not class. That is it. Having so much money does not equate to class. If he had class, even, I'm not saying that would not bring about him being caught, because somehow there are people that are professionals that their job is to catch you when you're doing this. Look at Invictus Obi. Invictus Obi has more class than Hushpuppi, but at the end of the day, he was still caught doing what he does. Invictus Obi is more, is a learned and very, the guy is there. He went on interview on BBC. He did a lot. If you look at him, he is an example, image of an entrepreneur. but he was still caught. So it doesn't matter which way you go. Not to talk of the worst, someone flaunting such amount of money and say, I'm into real estate, I'm into real of this, I'm into real. How can you be, you say you are an influencer? What kind of influence are you trying to, if you make so much money? There are a lot of criminals in Nigeria. There are people who got money from monopoly. They say they are into business. They are in Nigeria. They call themselves businessmen. They say they are this and that. None of them go out flaunting expensive clothes to show that they are wealthy. If you have money, you have money. It's as simple as that. You have money, you have money. You don't need to wear designer clothes to show that you have money. You have money, you have money. It's as simple as that. You know in your mind that, yes, this cash, kudi, ego, owo, I have it. Once you have that kind of money, what do? You go out there investing and keeping low profile. You don't need to show that now I have expensive clothes. You live normal life. You have industries, you have companies, but definitely, even with that, if you continue scamming and you don't stop, you will be caught. And I think that is the problem of many criminals. They don't have a stop. That is the problem of criminals. The greed does not stop there. Once they acquire money here and there, they don't put an end to it. They don't use. Let's assume that Hushpuppi was able to make, I don't really know, but let's assume that Hushpuppi was able to make somehow, let's say he was able to make $3 million or $4 million. Let us just, I'm not saying that's what he made. I don't know what he made. But let's assume that Hushpuppi was able to make $3 million all these years. With $3 million, he can get into real estate, have properties abroad that fetch him rent. He could invest the rest in some African countries, have shopping malls, have other business fleet of taxis in some other parts, and leave all of this dirtiness. But he did not. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because many rich people that you know today, I'm not saying everybody, even in the United States of America, popular names, some of them have become presidents, some of them are governors, their great-grandfathers. The core of the wealth is from criminal activities, either high-class prostitution. I'm not talking of just ordinary prostitution. These are the ones that ship virgins from Eastern Europe. They go into fetish bonding and a lot of things. That's how they made their money. From back then when there was alcohol prohibition, from strong drugs, drugs and many other things. They made money from many terrible things, scamming, scheming, pyramid, scams, and they made money from this. Some of them, just name it. Just look at some of these mafias back in those days. I think most of you have watched these movies. They made this money and they tried to connect themselves to the Roman Catholic Church in the hope of cleaning their money. They went into this immobilier. Simply put, they went into real estate. They invested into this. And now they are so clean. Their children can come out and act like, no. But the root, foundation of that money is fraud. That is what it is. So it's so terrible. It's so terrible. And, there is no way you escape karma. Karma will always chase after you, no matter what you do, no matter whatever it is that you did in getting your money. So the Dubai police in the United Arab Emirates, as you all know, for those who don't know, had in June 2020 arrested Hushpuppi and his gang. They were later extradited. They were extradited to the United States for prosecution by the FBI. FBI Special Agent Andrew Innocenti had alleged that Hushpuppi contracted the services of Abba Kyari, after a co-conspirator, Chibuz of Vincent, allegedly threatened to expose the alleged $1.1 million fraud committed against Qatari businessman. Innocenti, who said he obtained voice calls and WhatsApp conversation between Kyari and Hushpuppi, and also alleged that the latter paid the police officer 8 million naira, that's equal to $20,600 for the arrest and detention of Vincent. Kyari had taken to Facebook on July 29, 2021 to deny the allegations, but he later deleted the post after editing it about 12 times. The Inspector General of Police had recommended the suspension of Kyari until date. Abba Kyari is still in Nigeria, and from all looks of, from what we are seeing right now, even though the Minister of Police Affairs, Maigari Dingyadi, had on September 14, 2021, during a television interview, said the findings and recommendations on Kyari had been submitted to the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. Of course, you know Abubakar Malami is also not clean. He's also tainted. So, well, they are waiting on the the presentation to the president, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, saying that they will come up with a final decision if he is going to go through the Nigerian Police Disciplinary Committee, and he will be probably suspended, whatever it is. I don't think Abba Kyari will be allowed to go to the United States to face any, and I mean any criminal interrogation. Nigeria is not just going to allow that. The government is not just going to allow that. And moreover, if you look at it, I'm not saying that crime pays. I'm not saying Abba Kyari is a clean man, but it's so funny. It's so funny. Imagine Nigeria inviting a police officer from America to come to Nigeria to answer to crimes that he or she got involved in. I don't think it is possible. So Abba Kyari is not going anywhere. That is my own thoughts. What are your own thoughts? You can drop that in the comment section below.